Last episode in Manseille, 1848 saw a large expansion to the Manseille rail network. To help organize the increasing flow of goods, a rail yard was constructed close to the city. Around the same time, the city district Agnese was constructed, with its famous tiny markets dotting the streets. This episode in Manseille. Hello, bonjour, and welcome back to Manseille, to the most cursed episode of City Skylines I've ever created. Why is it the most cursed episode I've ever created? Well, first my mouse broke, then my keyboard broke, then the audio recording of the first half of the episode broke, which is why I'm doing a voiceover right now. And then I went ice skating and my arm broke, which is why the episode is a bit late. But no worries, I can work with it, and that I just do some voiceover for now, for the first half of the episode. I started today by building a little expansion to the town, because, I wanted to expand a little bit over here. I thought it was a prime spot for it. And, I first expanded the avenues, the trams, then I worked on the road layout of the area I wanted to build in. First building the main roads, then building the alleyways in there to make it really dense, because I like a dense European city. And it's also really appropriate for the era, like early 19th century. I removed this road over here that I'm just about to remove. Yes, I removed that because I want to put a park in there. And then I changed some of the roads to a different road because I want to break up the monotony of the same road texture a little bit. A little bit of a difference in there makes it look a little bit better. And then you see that I left a space open here. Why is that, you might ask? It's because I wanted to add some canals. A little water feature really breaks up the city a little bit, and it also adds a little bit of a traffic challenge. So I started over here, in between there, that's the end of the canal. Added a little wide section so the boats could turn around, and then I connected the two sides for the canal, and that's the little water feature I wanted to add to the city, and I thought it looked pretty good. Then I also have to add some bridges, of course, because I have to cross the river, and I think this is gonna probably become some sort of bottleneck in the future, because, well, there are only a limited amount of bridges over the canal. So that's, in most cities, water like this will become a bottleneck for traffic eventually, but that's okay. And here I also turned the rail into a bridge to cross the canal, and this especially will be a traffic bottleneck at some point, because it's also a level crossing with a big avenue, so I might have to elevate the railway at some point at that point. And here I added a third bridge, because, also here I need to turn it into a bridge, of course. And I used this bridge for it, which is custom made. Well, not entirely, I used someone else's asset and I just added some trams on top of it. But I really like this asset, so I wanted to add some trams on top of it. It's a little bit small, maybe. After that, I went on and started working on the case. I just used the same case I used around the river, and I think it looks pretty good. That's also an important step, of course. I tried to make it a bit wider along this section, along the avenue, because it would be like the main route for cargo transportation throughout the city, and then the side way would be more for final deliveries, not really a main route. Not that any of the cargo ships are gonna actually work through these canals. The canals are too small to put cargo harbors in, so in City Skylines it's not gonna work, but we can imagine that it works. And I believe, like in 1850, canals like these were the main means to transport goods throughout the city. So, well, I tried my best to at least make it look good. it's not gonna work sadly. Here I'm making sure that all the canals are flat, so the sides are all on the same height. And then I remove any leftover dirt from inside there. And to do that here, because the quays are right next to the road, I had to use Terraform network, because I couldn't remove it normally because it was too close to the road. So what you do then is you get Terraform network and you put an invisible road there, which you move then down with Move It, and as you can see I can use that to remove the dirt. It will result in some errors. It will give you a warning that, oh no, the road is flooded. It's not actually that bad. And then of course I let time pass a little bit so the water could flow in. It of course did cause some flooding, because why not? Apparently this area is a little bit low lying compared to the river, but that's nothing that a little water spot can't fix. Just add it, move it down, and no floods in the future anymore, because this will also absorb water, which is an interesting feature. It doesn't only spawn water, it also absorbs it, which is very handy. Yeah, then I had to add some houses, which is quite easy to do with a cut like that. In actuality it took like an hour and a half to build all those houses. As you can see, I left some space up here, and that's because I wanted to put a church in there. The city is growing and it's 1850 in Europe, so churches are still important enough that I had to build one over here. So behind the church I want to put a little graveyard, except that I didn't have any grave assets installed, so I was searching for something that looked like a graveyard. I did find some nice paths to add, some not actually working paths, and that's something I wanted in here because I didn't want people just cutting corners through the graveyard. I didn't think that would look too good. I believe in the end I used the vanilla stones for graves instead of any gravestones. Between episodes I might replace those with actual tombstones. Yes, you can see it, just using the vanilla stones. I believe I add some gravel, yes, to really sell the idea. It doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't look very good up close. And lastly I added a fence around it, and that also brings me to the point where the actual audio recording started working again, because I noticed it. So let's cut to that. Nice. Next up, adding some park over here. Is there enough space for a football field? It just about is, but it doesn't really feel like something that would go well with a church. I'll just put it here for now, and I will later build a football park over here. For now, I'll add some small paths, trees, gazebo, a small food stall, an antique cannon, why not? Well, that's pretty nice. Now to add some more houses over here, and done. House added, a park added, a church, a little graveyard. I'm thinking it looks quite nice. I also am gonna add a invisible graveyard over here, so it actually functions as a graveyard, which I think is quite nice. I don't have fire service yet. Do believe I added elementary school. I might want to add a high school here too. Maybe this church can function as an invisible high school. How many people can go to this high school? Only 100. So let's maybe add an actual high school over here. of course, need to work on this. But I want to slowly increase the density as I'm working towards this area where the main town is gonna be. So a bigger building like this should work quite nicely here. And it's a perfect spot for it because I think it looks quite nice having the roads in front of it working towards a door. Let's also name this area Red and Cold. I like it. Maybe also park over here, so we can name this park Garden the Cathedral. Sure. My French is dreadful, but that will do. Let's do a little time skip so everyone can move in. Okay, I think almost everyone has moved in. Also, a lot of people are going to the high school, which was to be expected because I didn't have any high schools, but one before this. I do think that looks quite nice. Next up, I think I want to build a big new thing over here. A big brewery, a big factory. First of all, let's build roads to put it on. And let's search for it. I think it's in Rico. No, that's not what I was looking for. Oh, it's forestry industry. I understand. I found it. Now, if this station is gonna work, I probably should move the entire building a little bit. Somewhere like here, maybe a little bit more here. Let's make everything flat. Smooth the hills out a little bit. And then add the roads to build all the modular bits of the factory, of the brewery. And that is too big. Let's just remove the station. This is probably the size I want, roughly. Let's make sure everything is really flat, and then I can add in the station again. Connecting it. This is roughly the size I want, so I can have an open side to the factory over here. I think that's nice. Then have a corner piece over here. Now to make sure the road is connected to the right place. Corner piece over here, maybe just some of this, and then to make it fit I can... Okay, that's not gonna work. Yeah, let's just add some buildings and put them into each other then to fake it. And then a corner piece over here, maybe a road that goes into the center of the factory. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. Now let's paint the floor a little bit, add some gravel, add some concrete. Concrete, gravel. And then I want to add some different chimneys. I'll just borrow the one I created myself over here. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Add some steam, some smoke. Steam. Okay. Now with touch it, I need to touch all these. That sounds very weird. Don't take that out of context. But with that, I can replace the rail lines of the station, and then I need to connect it over here somehow. Didn't know how I'm gonna do that. This will do, and then I can add a power plant, which is secretly a gas. I believe these things are called a gasometer. In any case, they were used to store gas that was produced from coal. So in factories, they would transform coal into gas, fill these things to store the gas, and then during night, for heating and for cooking, these things would slowly sink again and rise again to store gas inside, which is an interesting fact. And I think they look pretty cool over here. Of course, I might want to add some doors, maybe, to make it look a little bit better over here. Maybe some coal stacks. Industrial props. Now, I of course do need some way for people to get over here, so I think I'm just gonna add a little bus line with horses, not buses. 10 will do. Also, I need to make the line white, or the horses will be blue. I don't like blue horses particularly, so let's not have them. I also need to remove the parking from here, because I still don't want that horses parked on the sidewalk. I might want to consider having a temporary horse line. Horse line? Yes, horse line over here to here, because the people over here don't really have service. Okay, I think that was quite a lot. I think that's enough for today. I really enjoyed this today. Thank you very much for watching. I did a lot in this episode. I also tried to make the editing a lot more snappy. I hope that worked out in the end. I haven't edited it yet, of course, when I'm recording this, but I'll try to make it a lot more snappy. I'll see you hopefully in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.